Bienvenidos a mAD Podcast, donde hablaremos de marketing, advertising y vamos a ver hasta dónde nos dejan llegar los de legal sin que nos echen la bronca.
So hi everybody and welcome back to mAD Podcast. This is a new episode. I'm Sonsoles, I'm the Chief Growth Officer at SAMI Alliance. And I'm very happy to be here today with these amazing guests. So here today with me, we have Paula Digaray. She's our Research and Insights Director. She's our data magician, and she's going to give us all the data spice that we need when it comes to our campaigns and how we work at SAMI. And here with me, the two new members of the gang, the two new members of SAMI Alliance. We have Eli and Jari, the two co-founders of Kurio, our newest addition to the SAMI Alliance family in the Nordic region, specifically in Finland. So, hi.
Hello,
Hola.
happy
Hola.
to be here. Hola.
Good. I see that your Spanish is improving. They started learning it, 2 months ago, right?
Let's put 2 weeks so we don't get the bar too high.
Yeah.
But mucho gusto.
Okay, so now maybe let's go down to business. So you guys have been on the road for 10 years, kind of like SAMI Road. So we would love for you to, let us know a little bit how everything went, how that road was, and everything that has to do with Kurio, the awards that you guys have been winning, and showing us the ropes.
Where do we start?
Exactly.
Let's
Has it been 10 years? Oh, I think it's been 12,
I was just going to
actually.
say that maybe let's start with that, so maybe more like 12 years.
Yes.
12 years
And
exactly.
it is our anniversary. No, it was two days ago.
Yeah.
Yes, the 1st of April, which is April Fool's Day, isn't it? So that's kind of
I love
convenient.
it. It was 2 days
That's
ago.
convenient,
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's 12 years now.
Yeah.
12 years.
Yes. It's been a good ride, hasn't it?
It has been one heck of a ride, without
Yes.
a doubt. And loving where it has taken us here in Madrid.
Yes.
But how it all started. So
Me and Jari go way back. I mean,
We've
all
known
the
each
way
other
to high school.
high school, yeah.
High school, wow.
Jari has a short hair.
Oh my God, we want to see that picture, right?
That's a killer.
And it was only the two of you at that point?
Yes, it was, definitely.
Basically the two of us, We were the only ones doing the operational part, and we had some senior help on the kind of like chair of the board and so forth, but it was us two doing the operational work. We both had been working with social media marketing, Ellie in ad agency,
Yep.
I in the comms world, but both working within the social media surge, all the blogs and everything that was back then kind of like the scene. No Instagrams, Facebook just barely,
Yep.
but all the brands started to become interested in how they could benefit of this new evolving media landscape.
Yep.
So we had been enjoying our works within social media marketing, and we thought that, okay, now that both of us had some experience and some encouraging experiences in the sense that we've had some good feedback from the stuff that we've done, it would be so cool to do this for yourself, on your own, in your own way, and so forth.
Yep, and working in like legacy advertising agencies like TBWA, all the best for them. But I found it super difficult to kind of transform the culture because they really do love the craft and the 30-second ads and all of that. And I was always the social person. I mean, coming into the meetings and being the last one to present my 2 slides and all of that. So you know how it goes. And then social media was kind of getting a bit big, and we pondered at least I think like 2 years whether we actually dared to like go all in,
right?
with social. Happy that we did.
Yeah.
And that is kind of the starting point of Kurio, how it is nowadays. And everything has been built as SAMI Road as well, and the whole alliance now, like to fit for the social media landscape. So all the teams and all the structures, and we've ended up developing a lot of our own frameworks, and because For instance, I worked with a lot of big brands, and I found out that there was a lot of frameworks for like legacy planning, so like brand wheels and brand houses and all of that, and none of them had like really good approach when it comes to like social first. Like nothing, we had no tools. I was a strategist, first a planner and then a strategist, and I found that I had no tools. So we started to develop our own, and actually one of our most used frameworks is based on our thesis, Jaris
Okay.
and mine, in
That's
college.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is something that I see as well because like a lot of brands are used to have these frameworks for like business purposes or branding as a whole.
Yep.
But this social first and changing that mindset is complicated to
Yes.
make them realize like, okay, you can do the same thing with social and now everyone is in social.
Yes.
So you need to focus on that. So I think and if you get at the beginning, then obviously you are leading the industry in that front.
Exactly.
So-
But it's super hard because you really need to change the whole mindset. For example, like brand books. In brand books, you'll have the fonts and the colors and the logo goes here, and all of that is that like not that relevant when it comes to social. I mean, you have to think about content and content streams, and this is the way we work with influencers and all of that. And none of that is usually like very well defined in brand books or traditional ones. So
Not as much as it should be, right?
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Going back to the start in 2012, there's a funny anecdote that maybe not many in this room at least know, especially goes to Paula. So when we weren't calling ourselves social media agency, we didn't start with that, even though Kurio did the majority of our work within social from the get-go. We didn't dare to call ourselves a social media agency because we weren't sure that it was gonna fly in the long run, and we
Yeah.
didn't want to tie ourselves into anything that didn't have longevity. So what we did call ourselves was a digital marketing think tank. So we, from the get-go, we wanted to be a bit different
Yeah.
within the market. So something of a challenger agency, and also being called digital marketing think tank led, of course, to that. What the heck do we then actually offer to our clients? So somehow that positioning us as a think tank within the digital marketing sphere has led to all the stuff that Kurio stands for and is even today. So all that research focus within our DNA and doing our own proprietary studies, annual studies and so forth, that is still within the DNA. But thankfully we changed the tagline so that the clients could actually come for the work that
Yes.
we deliver. So, bit of helping them there. But yeah.
And I'm curious, like in Finland or like in the Nordics in general, was it difficult for clients to actually change that mindset? It has been like a journey on that front, or where?
Yes.
Yeah. Right.
What was maybe the switching point, no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or when?
Yeah, that's a
I-
good. That's
that's
a
a
really,
good-
really good question.
It has been going on for the whole 10 years, I think. I mean, just
I
kind
think
of
it has been gradual. Yeah,
Gradual, yes.
incremental. For example, the spend increases, kind of like shifting from the traditional medias to social. It has been rather incremental.
And I think that we find that nowadays the people that kind of we started with, who were like social media managers or the clients, now they are like starting to be the CMOs. So that's a good place to be.
That's the sweet spot, no?
So kind of looking for that in a few upcoming years.
Definitely.
And now that you've known us for a little while now, what would you say, and you also from the Sami point of view, are the most similar things between Sami and Kurio, and yeah, what blends us, no?
Whoa,
So many things.
So many things,
Yes.
like unbelievably many things.
Yes.
I don't even know where to start. Just coming here today to the Madrid office.
It's their first time in our Madrid office.
It's a lovely office.
It's a lovely office, yeah, it's a lovely city, but also feels like we're in our office, literally.
That's exactly what I
Like,
told you guys when
yeah.
we came
Oh,
to
that's-
Finland.
that's
It was
so nice.
crazy. Like we felt that culture fit like straight. We went into the office
Yeah.
and it was like, wow, this is a Sammy office from
Yeah.
the get-go, right? And this is just beautiful, no, to watch and to feel.
So important as well
Yeah.
to work,
Yeah.
to make it work.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And even though many of your projects are run in Spanish and ours are run in Finnish, finding the common language when it comes to discussing whatever business related hasn't been a problem at all. Just chit-chatting with people, you immediately talk about the same stuff on the same level, in the same thinking in the same way. So yeah, definitely there are so many similarities that I don't even know where to start to answer your question.
Yeah. And what we, I think, really loved from the first talks was the kind of the challenger mindset, because
Yeah.
we have that as well.
Yeah.
I mean, and you really need to have that to kind of be bold enough to disrupt the business, and we've loved doing that from day one, and I think that's
a
super
really good
similar.
point. Yeah.
But still having that ambition. I mean, going for the big ideas, the awards, the tier 1 awards, but with a social first, or like ideas that have social kind of at the heart of them.
Yeah. There is some of that, I don't know what you call it, but some sort of entrepreneurial spirit or whatever.
Yes,
That you can really,
I mean,
That can do attitude,
can do,
right?
yeah,
exactly.
that can do
Because, I
attitude,
mean,
yeah.
You have to have that.
Yeah, totally.
Yes.
Not, you're not going to survive. No?
Yeah.
It's such an abstract business, and the clients are very demanding, and everything is changing, and with social and algorithms and TikTok, everything, you really have to be like have that positive outlook.
Yeah, and looking always for innovation. Like I completely agree with like the challenger mindset, entrepreneurial, and this innovation, because in this field there's always a new platform, there's always like a new methodology, a new tool.
Yes,
and you need to be quick.
And the thing is, we find, as and I know you too, we are many a times doing something with the clients for the first time ever.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And that's a difficult thing. I mean, you can do the 30-second TV ad that they've done like 100 times, but then doing something for the first time, that takes some convincing and some good strategy, and
definitely.
the numbers and data help there.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's for me one of the trickiest part. Then when they see the result, they really like it. But then you need to identify the right person in the organization at the client side to be able to be your supporter.
Your champion.
Exactly.
Your
In
champion,
the
exactly.
organization, totally.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then I think also one thing is the collaboration, like how, like since the very initial conversation with them, it has been really easy as well to understand each other, knowing like how we can complement, and we have already been working on a couple of projects, even like it has been quite recent, the integration. So this collaboration is really important as well. I see like is similar in both companies.
Yes.
Yeah.
But all the similarities in the culture really have helped doing that, because whatever meeting, starting with whomever you've never presumably even met before, you immediately speak the same language and think in the same ways, and yeah, that's a really valuable thing for the whole.
Yeah, alliance, definitely.
How does your team approach the creative process when developing marketing campaigns? Where do you get the inspiration from?
Well, as Jari said, we have always had this bit of like research mindset. So we've been working with Ken Lyons, for example, for 10 years. And Jari mostly has been going through like 7,000 case studies from Can over the years. Yes. So
Summers well spent.
yes. So there's that, and that's a really good source of inspiration, obviously. But then everything social. I mean, social is the kind of the ultimate, and TikTok, at least for me personally, is kind of the ultimate peak of inspiration, isn't it? People are so creative. I mean, it's super inspiring to see the creativity of people on TikTok. I mean, yeah, an endless sense of inspiration there.
Yeah, good points, and totally in line with all that. Maybe also somehow just getting a bit philosophical here. Maybe just finding the right inspirations or answers are always start with posing the right questions. So we do that quite a lot. So try and if we don't get the best brief from the client, which we many a times do, our clients do great briefs. So usually just sitting down with that and digesting that will get you all the creative juices flowing to the right direction. But if we don't get that, then reframing it ourselves somehow really helps.
That is
in,
true.
in doing that. So that's one way of looking at it, a bit more philosophical.
Yeah,
but
it's like a puzzle every time, because it's not like art. It's like creativity within the frames. There's the budget, there's the brief, there's the industry, there's the social, like everything, the KPIs. So that's kind of, I think, a really fascinating puzzle every time to solve.
I think like they actually understanding what they need is so important, because sometimes they are really like versed in their own like day-to-day work and in their business, their brand, and they take things for granted that we should know or where they want to head. And us like basically orientating them on where to go and understanding their needs is super important. And as well, when I hear like it's like a research focused agency, like that's music for my ears. Literally, because when sometimes I have challenging conversations, like trying to show the value of data, and when I see people that share my same mindset, it's lovely, because you have proof like, okay, this is actually what consumers want. This is what they are saying. So we should focus our creative idea on this. But not everyone thinks the same way. So I love to hear that.
well, right back at you. We love all the stuff that anything data related is done here, especially, for example, the stuff that Capture Intelligence is doing. And we're totally in love with the idea of letting your audience write the brief for you.
Yes, totally. It's the way to go. Definitely.
Indeed.
I was wondering, could you tell us a little bit more about the Finnish market? We want to put it on the map, right? I mean, we know Finland, you guys have told us, right? It's a test market for some companies, which is a very interesting thing to know and to know a little bit more. But also with regards to audiences, Gen Z, are you guys working with them as they are in other markets? Like, tell us a little bit more about the Finnish market, that specialty.
Finland is one of, I think, has the highest penetration of social in the world, at least among the highest.
Okay.
Since it's,
That's
super dark and gloomy, so you don't have anything else to do. And I think we are one of the most active content creators as well. Within at least the European market, I think. So that's good. Finland is
very
a really
good.
Yes, and it's very like digitally savvy market in many ways, and of course we do a lot of campaigns within like purpose-led and corporate social responsibility and stuff. Nordics is very kind of advanced there as well, so that's also good.
I think it's, if we're comparing it to a little bit smaller metropolitan Madrid area, so you get the idea. It's not, of course, Madrid is the second largest city in the EU, but if you take that as a country, it's not the biggest country, so it's somehow manageable in many ways. But of course, we are a huge country in like geography. So that leads to a great variety within the audiences. So totally different, depending always on the market that we are striving for within Finland. Because if it's the whole of Finland, then you have all the heterogeneity within that wide group, or not that wide, 500 something million people, but anyhow. But maybe what you were referring to earlier, Sonso, about being kind of like the test ground for many things. Maybe it is in many ways something of a generalist or an average country in many ways when it comes to Europe. So I don't know, when it comes to GDP or whatever metrics. And of course, it's the happiest country for the 7th year.
It's the happiest country for how many years in a row?
7.
7 years.
None of the Finns believe that. We believe it's a hoax. We don't know any happy people. Who are they?
Indeed. But
There must be some. We don't know any. But just from the industry, a few words about the Finnish kind of ad or creative industry. We've kind of gone a bit global from day one, since we really didn't want to kind of stay and compete in the Finnish market as such. So we've been entering like global awards from day one and working with global clients. So even though Finland is a great market in many ways, it's not that big when it comes to the global clients.
Yeah. That is good to keep in mind.
Very.
Yes.
When you were just saying about the digital penetration, I was thinking as well about a project that we are recently working on that is about a dating app. And even though you can think that now like Gen Z and they are like everyone is like the Gen Z is similar across markets, everyone is on like on the social media. But it's true that still there's these differences. And in Spain or the Mediterranean countries, it's still more like kind of more outgoing, more like going to bars, clubs. Whereas because in other countries or English-speaking countries, because it's colder and you tend to stay at home.
Yep.
So these like dating dynamics were also different.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, it reminded me of that. It was like funny fact.
Well, yeah, of course you have your cultural or geographic differences within each market, and without a doubt there are differences between.
Yeah. Not that fun to go on a date on a snow or on a picnic or something.
Which we have currently in Helsinki right now.
How good it is to be here, right?
The best.
Indeed.
And with regards to campaigns, you guys have had amazing and spectacular campaigns, ranging from AI influencer to everything related to sustainability. You guys are very much into that, and that's beautiful. And we love that from your work. Which ones would be the ones that you guys are more proud of because of what they represented, because maybe the challenge that it was and that we were talking about before, right? Convincing that company and that client to really go that extra mile and take that step. Would love to hear about that.
So many.
So many of them.
Yeah, it's complicated, right? Top 3.
Yeah.
It is really complicated because you don't want to. It's like picking your favorite child, and then they're all possibly listening.
Literally like that. And then there's the first one, and then there's the first big one.
Yeah. But the first big ones, this is not answering directly your question, but those you remember them fondly, and we don't name any names. Okay. They know who they are, but those are really special on the path.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah, because they made Kurio what it is today.
Yeah, they kind of like bigger leaps to the next league in many ways. So yeah.
It's been super inspiring to be winning with some B2B clients because B2B is such an inspiring market because there's many things. It's first of all, it's a great match for social. I mean, social is targeted and global and not that like costly and so on.
And you don't do TV and so forth.
Yes,
so
exactly like that.
You should do something, so maybe social.
Yeah, exactly. And B2B companies tend to like solve like the biggest issues facing the planet, like you're talking about energy or steel or something like that. And it's usually like very concrete. I mean, and it's they really need the creativity that is usually like lives within the consumer brands. So I think it's been very special to be winning with some like big B2B companies.
Yeah, quite many of them actually, but yeah. So that has been one of our, I don't know if you want to put it trademarks, but anyhow, something that we've somehow done over the past years quite a lot, doing a bit bold and different campaigns for our industrial B2B clients.
I mean, I have to mention one because it's a
It was a question. I'm just avoiding.
You're avoiding it very well, by the way.
It's a favorite. I mean, we have had kind of oil client or energy oil type of a client, and they came to us with the brief that we really want to tell that one of our clients, a company that builds these huge like forest machines, they use our oils. So it's kind of a B2B like co-branding type of a campaign. And then we kind of pondered upon that, and then Jari came up with the idea that maybe we should play the Finland's national hymn.
I love that one.
Yeah, with the sounds of those like huge forest machines, and then we ended up in the middle of nowhere in the Finnish forest and recorded like 3,000 something like that, like different pitches
Sounds.
of sounds of those actual forest machines, and it was a good campaign, one of those dear ones.
Yeah, we did it just in time, or launched it just in time for the 100th Independence Day of Finland. So it was very, very timely. Also.
Yeah, I was going to
Spread
say.
like wildfire in Finland and also abroad. Yeah.
Very original. Love it.
Yeah, it's very Finnish, and there's just something really like patriarchal about that.
Yeah.
Something.
Now every Independence Day I always reshare that post
Yeah,
on whatever social media.
Yeah, he does. Yes, he does.
One more time.
One more time.
But this is interesting because I believe when you are like dealing with B2B clients is completely different to B2C, so you need to change your mindset. There's like different challenges. So yeah, I love all these cases that you share because I think they are super interesting.
Yeah.
And it's many a times bringing that whatever B2C knowledge you may have within those or into those B2B tables is of value, because then you tend to think of a bit in a bolder way possibly and so forth. But many times also the challenges within the B2B sphere, whatever industry it may be, tend to be a bit more complex
Yes.
than with your B2C brand. So it's a bit more of a challenge to get the thinking right, because there are so many different things that are related to whatever solution they are offering. So it's a more complex puzzle for the creative or the strategist or whatever.
Cool. And what emerging trends do you think are coming, and how are you expecting to approach it? Like, for example, do you see the intersection of technology and creativity in the marketing? How do you see that intersection in the next few years?
We try and stay agile. So being ready to change however the system needs us to change. So that is something that we've striven for since day one. So for example, when it comes to how we've set up our operations in-house, so in Kurio, we don't have any production inside us. So that's a decision that we made when we kind of like started structuring our company, because we didn't want us to be always selling that particular craft knowledge of execution, be that videography or photography or illustration or whatever, that is sitting there without any jobs at the moment with the desk empty at our office. But instead always selling that solution which is the best for that client need at the moment. And when you combine that with being timely and being current in a sense that makes it to the headlines at times, then I think the approach is the right one, or has been at least the right one for us. So we try and stay on top of the trends and ride them to wherever they may take us, and we've never put our eggs into any one basket. So we've done quite a lot of things with Gen AI over the past, especially the past 2 years now, but even before the kind of like the latest hype, we did some stuff for example, Microsoft. But it's not like we're betting all of our stuff on generative AI or any particular tool either, but trying to find the things that elevate the current work the most. Maybe that's not exactly the simple answer, but that somehow summarizes our approach to that also, because the emerging trends, they appear rather rapidly, and they may rise to the critical mass of users or whatever it may be constantly at a faster pace than the previous one. So for that reason, we try and stay kind of like nimble when it comes to being able to leverage those trends.
And of course, I mean, I don't know if this is like the use of data exactly, but like being a social agency, I mean, the metrics and the KPIs have like always been there. I mean, all of our people, all the creatives and the project coordinators and everybody understands the KPIs because that kind of comes within the territory. And I think that's kind of the only way of doing campaigns nowadays, because it's more and more of the budgets are going towards social, and they're like, I don't know, people use approximately 7 platforms like at the same time. So it's, and you have influencers and you have organic and paid and all of that. So you have to be like very strategic with it, like all of the planning. You cannot do like an idea without thinking of the assets and the platforms and then the paid and the organic and all of that. So you have
picture.
Yeah, you have to be like very strategic from the get-go. And I think that is where the industry's future is. I mean, it has to be, because that's where the strategy is nowadays. So
Completely.
But maybe when it comes to kind of like our expertise area, social media in general, maybe there might be an opening for new channels right about now. So even though we're discussing so much about how the big 4 or the big 7 or what is the latest number within those tech giants, that there is no room for competition, but from a user point of view, there might be a need for something different, because more and more you see that the channels are copying each other's features, like constantly trying to replicate what the other did best at, which leads to trying too many things at once. So maybe there might just be like right about now or soonish a chance for a totally different channel to break. Something that, for example, Be Real tried to do and did quite, or managed to do the hype, but maybe doing that same thing, but hitting that critical mass. I don't know. I have no idea what that could be, but I have this inclination that there might be a time in the market soonish.
Yeah, because I think like the point that you made earlier about not putting all the eggs in the same basket, I think is crucial, because at SAMI as well, what we do is we analyze different tools, we are always looking to what is up there, and then having a critical mind of, okay, I think this is a good fit or not, and then how we can also maximize it to what we have internally. So especially to automatize things and to make it more streamlined, because everyone wants everything fast and onto the point.
yes,
But yeah, constantly looking for things and having a critical mindset.
yes.
And time is running up, so maybe one last question here for everybody that wants to know more about Finland and the Nordics. Any Finnish Nordic faces that we should know about and that you guys need to share for everybody to Google and to be savvy and aware of? You can watch the movie Fallen Leaves.
Yes,
which I always talk about
has
it.
seen that. Neither of
obsessed
us
with that
have,
movie.
but Solis can tell you about that a bit.
Yeah. The latest Kaurismäki movie.
The latest Kaurismäki, yes.
Yeah.
Kaurismäki is just amazing.
I mean, of
Movie
course, there's
director.
Kärja.
Love
Everybody
him.
should know Kärja.
Yeah. And of course our newest Eurovision hope.
Yeah, you know, the guy with no pants. Super short. Yep.
But the thing that you didn't know is that we actually have a painting done by him
Oh yeah?
Up at the office.
up at the office.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
so
need to see it next week.
he's a multi-talent
Yes,
artist.
the price skyrocketed.
The price skyrocketed, our art investment.
Yeah, Jari made a good choice like
Indeed.
7 years ago or something.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you very much for coming here, for
pleasure.
coming to Spain, visit us, and attend this podcast. And for everybody who's at home, we hope you liked it. And please do not hesitate to watch all the other episodes that we have, both in English and in Spanish. Let us know what you like. Let us know what you want to hear about, what you want us to talk about. And we'll come up with that for sure. And maybe I can ask our friends to say thank you so much and goodbye in Finnish, and we can close out with that.
Kiitos.
Kiitos paljon.
Kiitos paljon. Näkemiin.
And follow us on all our social media channels. How do you say that?
Follatkaa meitä meidän kaikissa somekanavissa.
Okay.
Easy, right?
Easy as 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Thank
Muchas
you.
gracias.